In the top stories, man charged for gun and ammunition possession. Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister addresses the 33rd Intersessional Summit. And deadly blast at Kiev TV tower as Russia warns the Ukrainian capital. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Wednesday, the 2nd of March, 2022. I'm Jason Davis. Nationally, the police have arrested and charged 25-year-old Morris Murray of Stone Fort Heights Extension for the offenses of possession of a firearm and possession of ammunition. He was charged in relation to a firearm and ammunition that were found by the police following the execution of a search warrant on a premises in Stone Fort on February 27. One Ruger 9S pistol and several rounds of 9mm ammunition were found and taken into custody. Murray was charged on the 1st of March and is also in police custody. To date, 2 illegal guns have been removed from the streets of the Federation. Officers from the Traffic Department have addressed the circulation of an image on social media depicting the percentages at which a car should be tinted, which appeared to be from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. During ZIZ Radio's On the Road program on Wednesday, Sergeant Sophia Henry from the Traffic Department said the image is fake and the information provided is incorrect.
I would like to start off first with a graphic that is being circulated in the media, where it depicts a picture of a vehicle and the heading of the letter or the paper is saying the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. And this is fake circulation. This didn't come from the traffic or the Commissioner of Police. Where the person is speaking on the vehicle is showing the picture that the front tint must be 35, the back windows are 15. The law never states that.
She went on to clarify what the law actually says about tinting.
It states that 65% of light must be passing through a vehicle. This means 35% tint should be on such. It also speaks about the front glass where it says 6 inches down. Sometime late last year, they went on the table about front windscreen and they talk about this 10 inches down. Anything more than that, it's an offense.
Okay.
Because you must see who is coming to you, towards you in the vehicle.
Okay.
So the picture that is circulating is fake. So I just want the general public to know that never come from the Commissioner of Police, who is the licensing authority.
On the Road airs on ZIZ Radio every Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. during the morning show with GQ. In other news, plans for an upcoming audit of the National Emergency Management Agency, or NEMA, and the Nevis Disaster Management Department, NDMD, as well as the 2022 Carib Wave Tsunami Exercise will be discussed on the government radio and TV program Working for You later today. The special guests will include Claricia Langley-Stevens, Deputy National Disaster Coordinator, Brian Dyer, Director of the NDMD, Regional Consultant Denise Murray, Planning Officer at NEMA, Ulrika Lennon-Petty, and Superintendent Lyndon David. Wednesday's discussions will focus on the importance of the upcoming Comprehensive Disaster Management Audit that will seek to enhance the country's preparedness in times of disasters, and also examine the significance of the regional Carib Wave Exercise to St. Kitts and Nevis. Working for You is broadcast live every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. on ZIZ and other participating radio stations. The program is also streamed live on the SKNIS Facebook page and YouTube channel. Moving now to news on the regional scene. Fully implementing the CARICOM single market and economy was one of the topics covered by Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister, the Honorable Gaston Brown, as he addressed the 33rd Intersessional meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community, or CARICOM. More in this ABS News report.
Most CARICOM heads of government are meeting in person for the first time in 2 years, in this the 49th year since the Caribbean Community was established. CARICOM Chairman Prime Minister the Honorable Gaston Brown participated using virtual means, formally passing the gavel of chairmanship to Belize's Prime Minister John Bracino and offering his successor his full support.
I do not offer my support lightly or as a protocol gesture.
because our unity and solidarity in CARICOM will be a vital and necessary element in the strength and stability of our organization as we face a world in flux. All around us, very dangerous and volatile changes threaten to overwhelm the international order as we have come to know it. The trend towards danger and volatility across many spheres in international affairs has characterized the past 6 months of my chairmanship, and I fully expect it to continue.
Prime Minister Brown told fellow heads prioritizing the needs of Haitians and the crisis in the French-speaking country are high on the meeting's agenda.
Citizen security and political legitimacy are what Haiti needs. And without these vital elements, Haiti's economic and social prospects will remain grim. I'm hoping that our community can be the bridge to the United Nations and other major organizations of the international community to bring these needed elements to Haiti, as well as a strong measure of humanitarian assistance rigorously applied.
He also insisted there must be urgent action toward the full implementation of CARICOM's Single Market and Economy, CSME.
We can no longer afford the luxury of delaying approval of key instruments such as the Financial Services Agreement, investment policy, incentive regimes, and the development and regulation of a regional securities market. The full operationalization of the CSME is required for the transformation of our economies and to fight for a robust post-COVID recovery.
The two-day meeting is expected to tackle issues including living with COVID-19, climate change, regional food and nutrition security, and the essential need of broadband. Terry Andrew, ABS News.
Guyana's health authorities are keeping an eye on emerging data that suggests that the fourth dose of a COVID-19 vaccine may be needed for some Guyanese to improve the protection provided from their first 3 doses. Tamika Rodney of HGP Nightly News reports.
With just a little over a week left to mark 2 years since the COVID-19 outbreak started in Guyana, one thing has been made clear, which is that vaccines or booster shots would not prevent persons from contracting the disease. Rather, they are being touted as a tool that prevents severe illness, hospitalizations, and deaths from the disease. Initially, scientists on invention of the vaccines had said that a 2-dose cocktail will be enough to stave off the disease. A few months later, the importance of a 3rd dose emerged after data reportedly indicated that the immunity provided by double dose waned after a few months. More recently, a study conducted by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention revealed that the booster shots would lose its effectiveness after 4 months. Consequently, some countries around the world, like Israel, have made a 4th dose available to its populace. Would Guyanese also be able to access a 4th dose? That question was posed to Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony recently.
Now, in some categories of patients, like persons whose immune system is compromised, in most cases they recommend that you do that 4th dose, and that's something that we'll look favorably on. Because we do have some patients like that.
Dr. Anthony said that more data is needed to validate the additional dose before Guyana can take steps in making them available. Last month, in an interview with Nightly News, Paul Chetty, a medical microbiologist, had opined that COVID-19 has the potential of becoming endemic and requiring persons to take preventative annual shots. Dr. Anthony agreed that COVID-19 will eventually become indigenous.
So the hope is with vaccination and maybe with people getting infected and developing immunity, it would move from being a pandemic to an endemic. And then it would be much safer for people to move around.
Tamika Rodney reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Internationally, at least 5 people have been killed after Russian forces fired at the main television tower in Kyiv and the capital's main Holocaust memorial, Ukrainian officials said, after Russia warned it would launch high-precision strikes on the Ukrainian capital. Al Jazeera's Andrew Simmons reports.
Russia has widened the scope of its war on Ukraine. A suspected cruise missile hit the local administration building in Freedom Square, no less, in the centre of the eastern city of Kharkiv. Homes regularly come under fire now too. This is an apartment building in the Black Sea port city of Kherson. And this, Kharkiv again. The Russian liberators have come, the man shouts, in the aftermath of Tuesday's missile strike. President Volodymyr Zelensky, addressing the European Union, called it the price of freedom.
This morning, 2 cruise missiles hit this Freedom Square. Dozens of killed ones. This is the price of freedom.
The translator struggles to contain his emotion.
We are fighting just for our land and for our freedom.
70 Ukrainian soldiers died when a military base was targeted by heavy artillery in Akhtirka. But the veil has fallen from Russia's claims that it's carrying out a special operation aimed purely at military targets. Civilians are increasingly fair game. And as night fell, Kharkiv came under heavy attack again. The change of tactics, a possible consequence of Russia's slow-moving advance on the ground. Satellite imagery shows a column of artillery and armour, logistics and support units more than 60 kilometres long, bearing down on the capital Kiev from the north. Another is advancing from the south, the aim to encircle the capital, intimidate the civilian population and force the surrender of Ukraine's government.
And now for the weather. Current conditions are partly cloudy skies. The temperature is 28 degrees Celsius or 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are a gentle breeze of 9 miles per hour from the east. Seas are moderate with waves of 5 to 7 feet with northerly swells of 5 feet. The high surf advisory remains in effect. Low-level cloud patches and pockets of moisture will feature across the Leeward Islands and British Virgin Islands over the next 24 hours. The weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis today will be partly cloudy with a 30% or low chance of showers. Tonight will be partly cloudy with a 40% or moderate chance of showers. Sunset today will be at 6:18 p.m., sunrise tomorrow at 6:27 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Jason Davis.